All right, so that is the voice of Lance Smtih. Lance, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so how do you train for barefoot skiing? What do you do?
Just go out and ski, and I also, get some instruction at a ski school down in Florida, and then I just training, keeping at it.
So how do you get down there in summertime? You just driving it all the time?
I drive or fly, depending on. Usually wintertime is when I fly down there, yeah.
You know, long line in plumbing normally means 100-foot cable, 3/4-inch internal wound steel.
Yep.
And one of the things I heard somebody talk about this week was what they have put down their drains. And I just winced. You know, you see Terry Lynn over there working with sweet corn and all that type of stuff and the things that people go down the drain. But what's the number one thing that plumbers find that are clogging sinks?
Nowadays, clogging sinks is just food and grease is the main thing for kitchen and bathroom and shower drains. Toilet drains and main lines, you know, we're seeing, especially in the last decade, is wipes because they're marketed as flushable wipes and they're anything but.
Well, they're flushable, but they don't dissolvable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. So, how many times have you run into grease? Everybody thinks that if you pour hot grease down, it's going to go all the way down. No. What happens?
Not the case. It just goes down a couple feet farther before it hardens up, and same results as any grease. The best thing to do with your grease is to save it. Just say, I have a little jar under my kitchen sink, and I pour the grease in there, and then I don't know.
That's what Jane Marie does too, and then just drop it in the trash. But you can't get through it with your blades, and you think you can scrape it off and bring it back, but it stinks, it's messy, and it's horrible. Are there any myths you want to bust about grease? Because grease goes down there with our soaps. We get grease off our body and everything.
Correct.
Any myths out there?
Not really myths, except that you already mentioned that hot grease or flushing it with water.
With hot water?
Yeah, with hot water, that's a myth as well. Like I said earlier, it'll maybe get it a foot or two farther. That's probably the biggest myth. There's some other, I've heard a couple other ones. I can't think of them at the moment, but that's the main one. You know, we talk about long lines, and the longest cable that I've ever had out was probably 150 feet. You know, I don't even know what the big 1065s. How much cable is in a drum for a main sewer? 100 foot plus a 6-foot leader on there.
So
technically like 106 feet.
Yeah. It's got to be crazy to get out that far. Do you guys have rules about how far you will go with a 3/4-inch cable for a sewer?
Except in rare circumstances, we'll only go 100 feet. It becomes much more, after 100 feet, it becomes much more dangerous. You lose torque, you lose feel, because believe it or not, there's some feel and talent associated with what you're up against. So,
this is why plumbers are made fun of. I can feel it coming.
Yeah.
People say, it's like you're witching a well,
Very true.
Oh, boy. All right. So what are some easy things that homeowners can do to stop drains from stopping up, just to keep them clear?
Easy things they can do. Don't abuse your disposal at the kitchen sink.
Terry, are you paying attention?
I am paying attention. What would you consider abusing?
I'm
not shoving knives and things in there.
Putting all those corn stalks you have there down the disposal.
That would be bad.
That would be very bad. I see a lot of people pour out leftovers like pasta is bad, real starchy substances. That's the main thing at a kitchen sink. In the bathroom, small amounts of hair are okay, but
that's what strainers are for.
To a degree, yes. But if you can, I would do maybe some sort of grooming outside before you get in the shower.
I would say that I bet we abuse when we use the word abuse. I bet I abuse Drano.
Oh gosh! Don't do that.
I bet anytime it starts to slow. Yeah. I'm shoving a bottle and letting it sit there for a few minutes and then washing. Is that bad?
Yes, very bad. All of those drain cleaners ultimately cause a much bigger problem.
Now this is good to know. Yeah. Please go ahead with that. Yeah.
Well, they're very corrosive. If you read the fine print, they're very corrosive to metals. They ultimately, even though they may temporarily get the clog open, they coagulate farther down the line. But the main thing is, too, in older piping, they're very bad on metals and can rot them out and cause much more extensive problems than just a clogged drain.
So in my old Broad Ripple home, it still has a lot of that original pipe. probably should not be using.
I can't. The number of times somebody's gone to the Broad Ripple Lowe's and got some muriatic acid because someone told them and poured it out. Like
there are a lot of places that won't sell it. I mean, the pH on that's so low. Oh my God!
Muriatic acid is the worst thing you can do for an old, an older home that has galvanized or cast iron lines. Because I can't. I mean, literally, we've had to do whole repipes because of that.
Yeah. And what are we putting in pipes to get rid of the tree roots?
Well, copper sulfate.
That was it.
That's usually, and let's talk about that, because the thing is that copper sulfate will stop the little capillary veins that get in there and start with that breaks through the joint, whether it's on clay pipe or Orangeburg, whatever it gets in there. But the problem with it is it grows up and it becomes great big. And is there anything we can do for that?
Beyond drain cleaning through a full-size clean out, as far as a chemical approach, there's nothing that we currently do or have had success with. Copper sulfate, like you said, maybe in the introductory when they're first getting in there, but once they get to a certain size, only mechanical cleaning or jetting. If it gets too bad, then unfortunately, we may have to resort to excavation.
Yeah, Lance Smtih from LD Smith
expensive.
Plumbing. Oh, God. But Terry, it's not like it used to be. It used to be you had to dig a trench from the house all the way out to the street. Lance, talk about this new technology of pipe bursting. That's really cool.
Yeah, trenchless. It's not completely trenchless, but it's much less invasive. Basically, we let's say there's a 100-foot sewer line. We need to replace that. We dig a small hole on the inside of the home usually, and then a small hole on the outside, and basically pull a new sewer line through your old one.
And do you pull from the street to the house, or from the house to the street?
Yes.
Okay.
Usually from the house to the street. Yes.
That's just really amazing. Yeah. How strong is that cable?
I think it can go up to 5,000 pounds.
5,000 pounds, sort of like a long line on a ski boat.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So chemical. How do you feel about the microbiology? The ones that, like, I'm thinking of Drain Pro, the organics where they put in a little bit of a culture that eats away at the grease and stuff.
We sell similar product called BioClean. It's an environmentally friendly enzyme.
Yeah,
that will not open the drain. We sell a lot of that right after a drain cleaning because if you're good about the monthly maintenance of it, I've seen a lot of success with it, especially in grease lines.
That is the number one. BioClean is the number one used in Canada for all of the old cabins. Yeah, think about all the stuff that goes down the drain in Canada. And what they always told us is use it once a day for a week, once a week for a month, and once a month after that. Yep. Does that sound about right to you?
Yes, that is. Yeah, it's very important what you do in that first 2 weeks after you get the drain cleaned out really well with mechanical or jetting, and then after that, I think it spaces out to a month.
All right, before I let you go, I got to talk about barefoot skiing. How'd you do last week?
I did good. I won my division, and I got bumped into the next division. Landed my first long line jump at a tournament, so got that on the book.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah. This is barefoot.
Yep.
How high in the air do you go off the jump?
I jump traditionally. I'm not like the big dogs that go inverted, but
whoa. Well, what's inverted?
Inverted is where they lay out like this. I go with, they look like Superman. I'll show you a picture later. But,
all right.
I jump traditionally. My feet are probably 4 feet off the water. My head.
So do you land on your butt or do you land on your feet?
Tripod, feet and butt. You want to land your feet barely touch before your butt, and then your butt takes the impact. Right. Then you get back up.
Terry,
on
I want you to turn off your headphones for just a second. Do you wear a cup?
I do.
Okay. All right.
You would have to.
Gosh,
good question.
Really?
So.
Yeah. Very good question.
Yeah. So how fast is the boat going?
I jump at 44 miles an hour.
44 miles an hour.
Wow.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome.
So what are big dogs? Like your grouping, are you considered amateur, pro?
I'm in men's A, so there's 2 more divisions above me, open and then open pro.
Okay.
The pro level guys are the ones that are going like Superman inverted. I'm going what's called traditional jumping.
Is there any money in this? Can you make money at the tournaments?
There will be at nationals this year. There's a night jump that I think the purse is over $5,000, but other than that, not really.
Okay,
no.
A night jump. Are you wearing LEDs, or you can see what's coming at you, right?
Well, it looks different. It's just like flying. The runway looks a little different.
Yeah, Lance just got his pilot's license. So, have you flown at night? I haven't flown at night.
I have.
No,
yes.
I have not done that.
Yep.
So you can jump. You can ski jump barefoot. I mean, you can barefoot ski jump At night?
We'll find out. I haven't jumped yet at night. So,
Yeah.
Hey, if people want to learn a little bit more about you guys, need any help or just have questions, what do they do? How do they reach you?
ldsmithplumbing.com, or we're on all the social media platforms as well.
Yeah, good luck with the skiing.
Hey, thanks,
congratulations.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Send us some videos, too, okay? Last year, while you were talking, the girls had already found you on YouTube. They were watching the
amazing.
Amazing. All right, there you go. What to do with your drains. The big myth that I just picked up was baby wipes. I really did think that they are flushable, of course, but they just don't dissolve.
No, and we did a tour of the Citizens Energy plant like 5 years ago, and that's a big problem down there too. So it goes on down the line.
It flushes, yeah.
But especially with the lower consumption toilets, there's not enough as much oomph to push it through. So it causes, they get in, and especially homes on grinder pumps, we see them cause a lot of problems as well.
Wow.
So.
Denny says, just confirming, not to throw Kleenexes in the toilet.
Kleenexes aren't as problem. They are thicker. I haven't seen as much of a problem with that, but I still would stay away from. Definitely paper towels are a lot thicker, but definitely not as bad as wipes.
Okay, thank you.
Terry's always
just
fact
confirming.
Checking.
Yeah.
Fact checking.
One upping you.
That's exactly right.
Just confirming.
Yeah, just confirming. Well, thanks a lot, Lance. We'll bring you back someday.
Thank you. Thanks
I
for having me.
promise.